don't think Pearl is the problem. This thing that we're seeing with the white supremacist that she interviewed, I think it should be a come to Jesus moment for our people, because again, on one side, we critique women for falling for the very shallow, superficial rebukes of a Derek Jackson, right? Derek Jackson said all the shit that women want to hear, and then they made him rich and famous. And unfortunately, what I found is that a lot of men fall for the same Derek Jackson-esque rhetoric on this side. And one of the issues that our women have with us, and I've heard women say this, because again, I actually like black women, I'm trying to correct them, is that some black men are very fickle. Some black men have no backbone. Some black men are very easy to manipulate sexually, manipulate through status or through belonging, whatever the case may be. And because of that, it's hard for those men to see the writing on the wall. Therefore, it's hard for those men to be taken advantage of. Therefore, I don't feel safe with those men. With this Just Pearly situation, I don't think Just Pearly is a racist white woman. I think Just Pearly is a 26-year-old white girl who doesn't have a deep or nuanced understanding of half the shit she's talking about, and has very explicitly said, I'm doing this for entertainment. The optics of the people that I'm doing it with, doing it through, are black people. Therefore, I see black people as entertainment. She's a white lady who saw an opportunity and took it. I blame the market. As a people, we are a joke. I'm talking about from inviting every white guy who has just a lick of rhythm to the cookout, to any white girl who has a fat ass, or now she's a dime piece. We are a fucking joke. We talk about how the racist world distills us into our bodies and our entertainment value and our, utility to feed whatever it is that they want. But we do the same thing as well. And in this case, we saw a clearly clueless white woman prop up problematic black people and put microphones and cameras in front of them. And after the passing of Kevin Samuels, we direct our attention to that. And to be fair, that's my same critique with the Lapeef Network. The Lapeef Network is doing the exact same thing. It's Bad Girls Club for men, right? There's a demand for it, whether it's from Just Pearly things or whether it's the next clueless white woman who might look better than her who comes along. There's going to be a line of men who are phenotypically black, but internally Caucasian, who are going to lap it up. If we're talking about the Jewish community, even if anything that they've said or they've put forth was embellished, even if just going with that premise, you even saying that would get you excommunicated. But the black community, you say whatever the hell you want, and we'll quote Thomas Sowell and we'll quote whatever bullshit we can find on the internet to back it up. And then we'll fall back on the whole, well, black people are not a monolith. That's why black people are a joke. That's why black people are fucking exploited all over the place, because we can't even be one band, one sound. Some people say on code with anything. And I didn't fully realize this until I became a quote unquote content creator. But right now we criticize musicians, and we criticize even filmmakers for putting out trash. Well, artists aren't putting out albums anymore because albums don't fucking sell. People want singles. Even this, people want reactions. All right, the biggest YouTubers in this fucking space don't make any original content. They react. The biggest channels that we're seeing don't make any content. They just argue. They bicker. So what does that say to creators who actually have some good shit to say? Oh no, people want reactions. And people want fucking Bad Girls Club. So again, I think this Just Pearly things is an opportunity for us to look at ourselves. This is a conversation that black men have to have with black men, black women have to have with black women. Because at the end of the day, we have to decide okay, do we want progress? Yes. How do we put our efforts and energy, not even necessarily money, but efforts and energy towards the progress that we want to see? This is how we do. We support this person, that person. Like I said, I was a fan of Tia San Johnson before I even started making YouTube. I was more of a fan of Tia San than Kevin Samuels. I watched more Tia San videos than Kevin Samuels videos. Or if we say, oh, this shit is dead, I just want, I want a soundtrack, to listen to as the world explodes, then yes, continue consuming the bullshit that you're consuming. Like it's incredible to me when I watch a Tiasan video, for instance, just using him as an example. The most you'll see viewing his live streams are, I think, on the high end 300, 400. But Lapeef Network, where they're literally middle-aged people regurgitating the same shit over and over again. You know, big bank take little bank. They playing those fucking schoolyard games. And the Anton and this person are arguing, and this person are arguing every single Thursday. 1.2K views or viewers. And we expect, the people who actually have quality, who actually have good shit to say, who could actually, we need to have more solution-oriented conversation. But when the solution-oriented conversation is being had, those people get 20 viewers. But Lapeef, who should pay for the first date and fucking schoolyard shit, 2,000 views. Like,
Welcome back to Breakdown Friday. Joseph Ward, Professor Carl, Tone Jones, Patrick Irvin. We're here to break down this video by the gentleman Obi from the We Need to Talk YouTube channel. Go check him out. I make sure I put the link to his channel and this video in the description. But the overall tone that I'm taking from this is, are we a joke? And if we are a joke, why are we a joke? And what can we do to not be a joke any damn more? Because there's nothing worse than being the damn joke of the world. There's nothing worse than being the group of people who no one respects, who everybody steps on, who everybody spits on. And as of right now, especially from the tone of the information that the gentleman had in the video, he's giving his opinion with the information that he has to show that we really don't want real progress. We just want to party and bullshit and just have fun. And the result of that is the actual progress and the respect that we feel that we deserve. We're not getting it because, for one, we don't deserve it. We're not working for it. We're not doing the things that we need to do. We're buffoons right now. So we're going to be here to break that down. Are we buffoons? Are we a joke? And if so, how the hell we get from being a joke to get to being respected people? So, Pat, I'm going to go to you first, my brother. I know you be raw dogging it. So this is your first time seeing the video. What's your overall tone? What's your overall talk? Two things. Overall tone, also in the context of the information that he put, kind of like your opening statement on ideas of are black people a joke?
I think black people are a joke, but not because of any of the reasons he listed.
Okay.
I don't think that the work being done, like, he started out basically by giving the whole point of the statement he was trying to make, which was to solidify and validate the feelings of the women that he talked to.
About about men falling for the grifters,
right?
Okay,
right. Because, and then that, he picked a particular person, being Pearl, and he kind of made her out as if she was something more than she was. Now, I'm not saying Pearl didn't have influence. Of course Pearl did. We did shows talking about the men that had lined up to follow Pearl. But we also know that the movement that Pearl joined was going on before her and was fairly large before her. And Pearl pretty much became a lightning rod in the community because she was a white girl and she was an easy target for opponents of black men to attack. So from that standpoint, the argument becomes disingenuous. I gotta believe the brother knows more about the space than he's letting on. But because he's trying to mend the gap, as he sees it, by bringing black women back to the table and getting them to lower their defenses, but he's doing it at the expense of invalidating the experiences of black men who are pushing these talking points. And to the other thing, I used to be there too, so I'm not going to go at the brother because I understand exactly where he's coming from in terms of like this schoolyard bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And I remember back when I first started looking at black relationships on this level. You know, at this point, it's been more than 10 years since I first started looking at it. And trying to get people then to understand like we need to look at the relationship between black men and black women because it's not in a good space. And at the time, everybody was saying we don't need to worry about that right now. We got bigger fish to fry. That's what everybody was saying at the time. I see PC smiling. It wasn't just PC. It was not. It was literally everybody was saying it. Black men, black women across the spectrum. And I understood the positioning. We got bigger fish to fry. Like we got bigger things to take care of. We can't get caught up in this. And there are a lot of people now that still refuse. Like one of the big points I used to always make is we got to see black people for who they are, where they are, and deal with the issues that they're prepared to deal with. This is a young man making this, or maybe an old man, middle-aged man. This is a man making statements from a position that is not accepting the community that he claims to want to help, the community that he claims to want to uplift. The people are telling you something. It might be schoolyard bullshit to you, but to everybody experiencing it, it's real. Black men feel a kind of way and they don't want to build with this version of black women, and telling them to overlook that and get back to the building is not the answer. Like this is a solutions focused conversation. And it's the same with the women. Black women feel disenfranchised and disillusioned because of their roles in society, and telling them to overlook that so that they can build, it becomes there is no solutions based conversation to be had if black men and black women are not together. So this is coming from, like, we've been doing this show for a while now, years. I'm correct, right? It's been
this one by about 2 years, 2.5.
And we've been having these conversations for 10.
More than 10.
All of our conversations are solutions focused at some point or another. Yeah, we riff, we talk our shit, we move, but at some point we always get the solutions. I think the other part of these conversations about it is people are so quick to rush the solutions because they don't want to deal with the nuances and intricacies of what's happening. When the brother said, I do love black women, I do, you know, he's making an assertion and an assumption there. The assumption being people that don't think like me, people that think like them don't love black women. They don't love black people. That's not true. A lot of these people wouldn't be hurt as much as they are hurt if they did not love a black man that don't love black women don't give a fuck about what black women do.
Right. Now, just real quick, when I heard him say that, I took that as he was saying that because people have accused him of not loving black women, maybe because of some of the content that he's making.
But see, you don't, and this is where I get into, okay, so now we have a conversation about maturity and responses and understanding propaganda and narratives. Like, you can't. So if you going on like when I say crazy shit, I'm fully prepared for the backlash, the feedback of it. And if anybody watching the show notices, I don't even be in the comments, so I ain't gonna see your hate anyways. So, but when people come to me and they're positioning it in a way where they're attacking other black men, I don't come back and say, well, because now you come off as the dude is trying to get in with the girl who done friend zoned you, but talking to you about the dude she like. You're like, well, if it was me, I would never treat you like that because I feel like that's how it comes off. Mm-hmm. No, brother, just be like, look, I understand, because I've had this conversation with black women all the time. I understand you feeling the way you feel. I get that. But understand that if for you to say that these men don't love black women, where's the hatred? If you're saying all these black men just hurt somebody that don't give a fuck about you, you can't hurt them. So if you're going to say I'm hurt, You have to say, I care about you. You have to say that.
Yeah.
So that's how you could position that in a way where you're not invalidating the feelings of the women, but you're also not coming across as somebody that is disingenuous or seen as an enemy of state for the brothers. Because both arguments, if you want to navigate the space, you got to accept that there's validity in terms of perspectives on both sides. That don't mean both sides are right. It don't mean both sides are accurate. That just means that from both perspectives, they feel like they're right.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I do agree that those types of shows get more views than anything else. But I also, because in the past, I used to get mad that those types of shows would get more than like what we were talking about here. But then as after reading your book and deep diving more, and even like he talked about getting into Dr. Tia Johnson. No, I get it. I get it. So as a creator, I get it. As a human being, as an adult, as somebody who's grown as a creator, I get it. I understand why certain content gets certain views. And I know his position is we love to be entertained more than we like to be educated. And that is a true statement.
That's true. That's very true.
That is a true statement. And that does have truth in this conversation. But going back to what you were saying, the importance of the conversation of the rift between black men and black women, that's an important conversation. And now how the conversation is had, no, that could be critiqued, but that is an important conversation to have.
But this is, and I'm gonna say this before, because I know PC, but even to say the entertain, that goes back, like when I'm trying to keep it brief, but I'm loading my statements intentionally. Even when I say you have to meet people where they are, black people are people at the end of the day, and people would prefer to be entertained versus educated. That's a human trait. So we get into these conversations where we have these unrealistic expectations about the maturity level and the frequency level of a people that have been subjugated and abused their entire existence. That's not fair.
Well, even to that point where you're saying that, though, looking back throughout human history, human beings, whether they were subjugated to the point where we are or not, love to be entertained.
Right. And so the only reason I bring up the subjugation aspect is to say, yeah,
you're supposed to be entertained.
Right. If there's a group of people that have overrode basic human nature to love education over entertainment, that group of people has had the time, energy, and perspective and growth and development and freedom to evolve. Right. To evolve to another stage. A subjugated people are denied all the things necessary to evolve. So here we are, still at the basic, most primal level of existence, which is entertain me, give me pleasure, and leave me the fuck alone. Deal with it.
Yeah. So PC, thoughts on the video and your opening statement on if we are joke and kind of solution based, because we're gonna lead to the solution, but all black people are joking. If so, why?
Man, Pat done said it all. We can just end this shit now. No, you covered a lot of ground. I had to cross off like half my notes because you covered a lot of stuff. There's no need to say it twice. Yeah, but okay. So to answer the first part, are black people a joke? Hell yeah. But I don't think that black people, and I rarely do this, but I don't, just like what Pat was saying, just like what both of you were saying, I don't think black people in this perspective need to be isolated in terms of the only people that don't take things seriously or have been taken advantage of. The only difference is we don't have the counterbalance to that. So other groups have nations, they have cultures to fall back on. Black people are the only ones that policies were put into place, laws were put into place, terrorism was put into place to prevent black people from coalescing and black people in America specifically into that unified unilateral culture. Even to the point now where black people will tell you that we're not a monolith. All those other groups are monoliths. They acknowledge being a monolith at some point. They acknowledge a place of origin, and they acknowledge a place where they all come together and have a unified front on specific issues and topics protecting of their cultures.